Hello and welcome from Doha in Qatar, and of course, welcome to my channel. Today we will be taking a 16-hour journey in this beautiful Qatar Airways A350 from Doha to Los Angeles in business class. Flying on this long journey in the revolutionary Q Suites, Qatar's premium business class product. Over to Los Angeles, where of course the fantastic Hollywood is, which is the most favourite place I have ever lived. This mammoth journey will take 16 hours, but this flight review will only take 12 minutes. Please stay and watch. Departing today from Hamad International in Doha, which is an amazing airport. Always super busy, full of life and excited passengers heading to their destinations, a great place to people watch and absorb the energy. Please hit like, subscribe if you want to see more of these flight review adventures. This is the centre of the airport and the view from the second floor. It feels more like a posh shopping mall in Beverly Hills than a terminal, and it's a fun place to be. This large statue of Pinocchio takes central stage in the airport terminal. Not sure of the story behind this, apart from Pinocchio had a big nose, secondary to not telling the truth. We continue our walking exploration of the terminal until we get into the business class lounge. The lounge is massive, as you can see it's very long and full of amenities. There is also a separate first class lounge which we will be taking a look at in a future flight review when I fly first class. This is amazing. It is an indoor water feature. It's very stylish and classy and gives the whole feel of luxury. The lounge is divided into different sections, this being a seated area, which is full of space and is very comfortable. The water feature or pond is quite big and leads you down the atrium of the lounge towards other seating areas and the dining room. I have to say, this is definitely one of my favourite lounges. It's well thought of and full of the customer experience. These private pod areas are quite nice to be with. The Arabian accent features and comfortable maroon coloured seating. We slowly walk down to the dining area, which you will see soon. It's quite amazing. The lounge is continuous. I guess it has to be quite big because of the amount of passengers Qatar flies on a daily basis. You certainly wouldn't see a lounge like this in the USA or even in Europe. Here is a close-up look at a private seating area. I was hungry though and headed to the dining room. The dining room had a full menu, just like a 5-star restaurant, was quite spacious and very clean and organised. The only drawback on my experience was there was no smoothies when I asked for one, a little disappointing. Here we have an outside view from the lounge with some of Qatar's beautiful aircraft. Time to head to the plane. I get there a little early because I know there is a second security check, which is quite chaotic and not allowed to be filmed. So we get through the security check, which is always a bit stressy, and head to board the aircraft. You can see here on the right the fuselage of this wonderful big bird. Here is the seating plan for the Q Seats cabin. I was located in 9A for this flight. A first look at the cabin, well, it's very purple, and this is because of the cabin mood lighting, which I'm not very keen on as it's very difficult to see. But here you can get the general gist of things with the private suites. A first look at my pod, it's very impressive, quite contained and private, though maybe a little claustrophobic. Not quite sure yet until I try this out. Privacy is definitely on the top of the list for the ethos of this cabin, which is great. The suites have doors, so a fully contained cabin within a cabin. As you would expect, the screen is very big and great picture quality. To the left on the side as a side table is a small accent pillow, the amenity kit and blanket. This storage area is quite big for all personal belongings, water and headphones. A reading light is present which has good quality lighting. A comfortable business class type seat and a large pillow for comfort. The seat controls and on this panel underneath the cute side table along with the electrical sockets. The footwell is a good size, can store shoes and later be used to extend the lie flat seating option. A little apple juice welcome drink was given prior to takeoff with some cold wet wipes. The Pajamas by the White Company were given out pre-departure, and we will take a look at these later. Outside it is early morning, so not a lot to look at apart from the dark. Quite a few Qatari planes, which is what you would expect. The Airbus A350 safety card was easy to understand and follow, as you would want for this important part of flying, as you would always want to feel very safe. There is a remote control for the IVE system also underneath the seat control panel. The menu is amazing. It is very comprehensive, lots of choices of hot, cold foods, full meals, small meals, and of course an extensive beverage listing. The food service on board the plane was exceptional, as you would imagine, and is one of the best parts of this journey. The champagne and wine options, of course, were amazing. The safety video was very cool. It incorporated the destination of the flight, which was of course Los Angeles. Nice to see the Beverly Hills sign, very foo-foo but very fun. Okay, so safety is very important of course, and a good reminder to keep your seatbelt on at all times when sitting, just in case of turbulence which could hurt you. A little thanks here from me for watching my videos. Please hit subscribe if you want to see many more. So the boarding did take a very long time, but we are now leaving the gate to take off in the dark. Time for takeoff. Nice and smooth, not much to see outside now for the next 16 hours in flight mode. Here are some night views of Doha, but minus any skyscrapers, which must have been on the other side of the plane. Over Doha, this map gives a great viewpoint of location and our heading. From this map, Doha doesn't look that big. On the world stage though, it's quite significant. So we are flying eastbound today across the Middle East, Russia, yikes, Europe, and then the Atlantic. Here is the wonderful Amenity kit, which has the lovely diptyque products inside, which are of very fine quality, and the smell very, very nice. No dental kits though, they were in the toilet areas. The Pajamas are by the White Company, are great quality, and they don't shrink either. The tray table was very big and functioned smoothly. Some sweet snacks were given away after takeoff, and a pre-meal glass of wine and some water. You can see here how the privacy door works with the suite. It does make it a small room. The table is set up with lovely linen, a bread basket and electric candle, just like the ones on Turkish Airlines. Some hard butter, olive oil and a very nice salt and pepper shakers. Very nice meal presentation. I didn't know what this was supposed to be apart from a slice of beef in a gravy kind of weird, but also it was very tasty, very nice. Followed by this very bright green pea soup, which was very delicious despite it being luminous and neon. It was very smooth and creamy. Followed again by Arabic meze, including pita, hummus and some other stuff, which was all very nice, but quite rich to digest for this long flight. I really like the presentation on the plate and bowls. It's all done very, very classy. This lamb kebab type thing was very delicious but spicy and hard for me to digest, so I couldn't eat the whole thing. It smelled lovely as well. Followed by this amazing chocolate cake, which was divine, and freshly brewed coffee, all served on contemporary, trendy dining ware. As I could not eat the whole kebab thing, I was still hungry, so asked for an afternoon tea afterwards, and the flight attendant must have thought I was a bit greedy, which I was. The setup of it was very nice, and even opted for a Bucks Fizz as a drink. After all that food, it was time for rest, and I set up the seat up with the mattress padding, which is all very good quality and excellent thickness. The seat goes fully flat, and there's a very comfortable velvety blanket, which I loved. This panoramic view of the suite shows how the size and function of the design works, best for the passenger. Time for some sleep on this long flight to the States. So I slept an amazing 8 hours, literally half the flight, which I think is great. And we are almost there. Time for some brekkie. And the breakfast was quite nice. It was a light omelette with vegetables, breads and fresh coffee, which I needed as I have to drive home to San Diego after this long flight. Great views of one of these massive engines as we start our descent into LAX. So a great flight by Qatar, an amazing service throughout the experience. Soon I will be flying in their first class A380 product, and I can't wait to show you that one. So price-wise, this cost me about $2,000 US, but this included a flight before on Royal Air Morocco in business class from Casablanca, so this was a good deal. Qatar is a solid airline and has an amazing product. Anyway, time to say goodbye. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.